Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think 100%. And did they do a digital rectal exam to assess his prostate? Again, typically that's done in the presence of symptoms. To your point, he's the leader of the free world. Did they do it and not characterize it? It's hard to know. We're speculating here. I would say, in an abundance of caution, probably be holistic and comprehensive. That would make sense. It is interesting to note that President Trump's, President Obama's, and President Bush II, in their most recent physicals, in their terms of office, obviously 2025 for President Trump, did comment on their PSA levels. And so they got screened while in office and they commented on it. It's not easy to access the most recent ones from President Biden. You can read summary articles. I couldn't access it on the archive site on the White House just before I came on. But according to those that were able to, there is not a report of a PSA test on the most recent physical that was read out for President Biden's last year in office.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now. Let's talk a little bit about Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis. You just saw a clip where they talked about his diagnosis and how it's obvious that Joe Biden had cancer for quite some time. Yes, they've been lying about it, and that we know to be true. There is no question here. Joe Biden and his team have been lying about his cancer diagnosis for a very long time. That doesn't mean we shouldn't feel bad for him, even though he is basically a terrible person. He's going through a lot right now, and there's no reason to kind of rub that in. You can criticize the unveiling of this as a way to distract people from what's going on with his incompetence and his cognitive decline. We can do that if we want. But what you shouldn't do is basically hope that he dies. And that's a lot of what we're seeing on the American left right now. Three big name influencers that I can think of off the top of my head. Taylor Lorenz is basically someone who worked for all sorts of different media outlets over the last couple of years. She was basically their attack dog to go after people on the right. She is responsible for the birth of Libs of TikTok and the explosion of that particular entity. Well, here's what she had to say about Joe Biden having cancer, basically, rotten hell. The largest political streamer on the left, yeah, Hassan Piker, has absolutely no love lost for Joe Biden, and he says so right here. And you can see that this guy is also talking about how basically Joe Biden's getting what he deserves, and he is not going to shed a tear for him. But if you want something even dumber than that, how about this clip from political streamer Denims, who is just an absolute ridiculous and terrible person? She's having a dance party over Joe Biden's death and rooting for cancer.
From former President Biden's office, doctor, it says he was diagnosed with prostate cancer characterized by a Gleason score of 9, grade group 5, with metastasis to the bone. That doesn't sound good, doctor.
Gleason 9, John, means that it's in a very aggressive form of cancer. And group 5 means that within that, it's the most aggressive type. That means it has the highest risk of spread, which obviously he has had.
Sorry, this chatter. Echo chamber? Bigfoot? Ha 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 ha. Making fun of cancer is disgusting. You know what I think is more disgusting than that? Also, nobody's making fun of cancer. We're all on cancer's side here. In this specific context, against Biden, no one's making fun of the cancer here. We're making fun of Genocide Joe. Realign your priorities, man.
Now, I think we all know why people watch Denims. You can tell by just looking at her. She is essentially an AI creation where 0% of the assets were used on her brain. It's unfortunate, but that is the kind of stuff young people are watching. Young adults as well. It's just disgusting. She was having a dance party because somebody got cancer. Again, no love lost for Joe Biden here, but I'm not going to revel in his pain. That is something that people who are trash do, and that's why you're seeing so much of that on the left. If you're on the right in doing this, you're wrong as well. Joe Biden lost the election, and Joe Biden is suffering right now, there really is no reason to pile on personally and hope that he dies or any of this other stuff. You can point out that he's a well-renowned liar, being that he lies all the time and he's terrible at it. He's not a nice guy. He's a creep. He's all those things. You should not really be rubbing it in this way and saying that you hope he rots in hell. That says more about you than it does about him. And you should probably knock that off for your own good.